In the vacuum of space, there is no sound, no pressure, and, crucially, no liquid water. But on July 16th, 2013, during EVA 23, outside the International Space Station, ESA astronaut Luca Parmitano began to drown.
All right, let me stop you right there. Be honest with me. Would you keep watching that video? Probably not. So, how about this one?
In the vacuum of space, there is no sound, no pressure, and, crucially, no liquid water. But on July 16th, 2013, during EVA 23, outside the International Space Station, ESA astronaut Luca Parmitano began to drown.
Hey guys, I'm Josh from AudioMash. I handle all things audio for YouTubers and podcasters. A lot of creators will spend 40 hours plus editing their videos to look absolutely incredible, but then they just slap a dry voiceover or a copyright-free loop on top and then hit export, and they wonder why their viewership and retention is completely tanking. Your viewers might not be audio wizards themselves, but their brains know when a video feels hollow or uninteresting. So today I'm going to show you exactly how I take a dry, boring video and use sound design, tension, suspense, and everything else to force the viewer to keep watching and stay interested. I strongly suggest you use headphones for this video. Okay, let's hop right into it. So just a little disclaimer, this can be done in any DAW. A DAW is a digital audio workstation, so pretty much the programs that are geared towards making music, such as FL Studio, Logic, Reaper, so on and so on. When I got this video from a client, the voiceover quality itself was actually fine, as they used an AI voiceover to create it.
Wow.
Now, I don't actually recommend using an AI voiceover, especially in YouTube's current climate with all the demonetizations happening, but I'll get more into that in a later video. For ease of listening, I'm just going to focus on the first 40 or so seconds of this video here. So I started by laying down these two ambient drones in Serum 2 under the whole scene. It sits way in the back of the mix, but it instantly adds weight and presence to the scene. Here's how they sound by themselves. Now to really make these drones pop and be interesting, here's what I've done. I've added a simple automation curve over the octaves parameter. Now you're probably thinking, okay Josh, you nerd, slow down. Auto what? Automation is actually extremely simple. Think of it as using keyframes in any video editor. You're actually adjusting the parameters or values of something as time passes. Kind of like an audio animation. In this example, it's a very subtle difference, but it helps to add interest to the sound. The last thing I added to this is an auto pan. What auto pan does is just move the sound from left to right at a certain rate. This adds lots of movement and even more interest to what's already happening there. Now, with all those added, it's still missing some tension and suspense, especially for these type of mini docs about space or crime. You really need to build that feeling for the viewer. So this is where risers and impacts come in. I took a riser loop from my sample library, as well as one of my favorite impacts, and lined it up with where the intro ended on the last word. The timing of it added lots of impact to that transition. Now the final and possibly the most important touch is mixing the voiceover itself. As I mentioned before, the voiceover given to me was an AI voiceover made with 11 labs.
In the vacuum of space, there is no sound, no pressure, and, crucially, no liquid water.
While 11 Labs voiceovers do sound pretty good and pretty human, they are still missing some of that natural air and room sound of a real recording. So to fix that, I just added a convolution reverb to a return channel and mixed it in slightly. I also added some EQ, which is just boosting or dipping certain parts of the voice, as well as some compression, which in simple terms is just taking the loud parts of the voice down and bringing the quieter parts of the voice up.
In the vacuum of space, there is no sound, no pressure, and, crucially, no liquid water.
So let's put it all together. Here's the before.
In the vacuum of space, there is no sound, no pressure, and, crucially, no liquid water. But on July 16th, 2013, during EVA 23, outside the International Space Station, ESA astronaut Luca Parmitano began to drown.
And here's the after.
In the vacuum of space, there is no sound, no pressure, and, crucially, no liquid water. But on July 16th, 2013, during EVA 23, outside the International Space Station, ESA astronaut Luca Parmitano began to drown.
The best part of sound designing a YouTube video yourself is you'll never have to worry about copyright strikes or inauthentic content related to audio, as you are literally making it by scratch yourself. One last thing, if any of you are struggling with sound design, voiceover quality, or finding decent BGMs to use for your videos, my email is in the description below. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.